The 1995 Oklahoma City bombing and the 168 deaths it caused spurred a government-wide effort to better secure all federal buildings. Now, almost 29 years later, that effort is getting an important update, and again with Oklahoma's help. Our Washington Bureau Chief Alex Cameron has the story.
April 20th, 1995, the day after Timothy McVeigh was able to drive up and detonate a 4,800-pound bomb just feet from the entrance of the Murrah Federal Building. The occupant of the White House back then, Bill Clinton, ordered a vulnerability assessment of all federal buildings. And 6 months later, he signed an executive order creating the Interagency Security Committee.
That proved to be really important.
Memorial President Kerry Watkins says the committee developed and promulgated new security standards and best practices, and the National Memorial took on an unofficial role, continuing to remind agencies of why the ISC's work was important.
Keeping the story alive and then bringing the federal agents in for training.
The story of April 19th hasn't changed, but the government and threats have, which is why President Biden signed a new executive order this week restructuring the Interagency Security Committee. Watkins spoke at the rollout event Monday, challenging agency leaders to bring anyone involved with the ISC to see the memorial.
This is an important place, and this is a place where every new federal law enforcement agent should have to visit.
Oklahoma City is an incredible example of what we mean by resilience.
The National Security Council's Caitlin Durkovich chaired the ISC during the Obama years. She says compliance with federal security standards was optional, but now will be mandatory, which she believes will make a real difference in federal offices that remain vulnerable to bad actors.
These storefronts that interact with the public, whether it's where people go collect their Social Security checks or do other business, this is where our compliance numbers are lower.
Watkins says the ISC is making a difference. Security cannot be taken for granted.
That's something people work day and night on to make sure what happened in Oklahoma City is not repeated.
And Watkins says something they're working on for the 30th anniversary of the bombing is an exhibit in the museum showing how security at federal buildings has changed over time. At the White House, I'm Oklahoma's own Alex Cameron.